JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is now on Disney+. I have some good news and bad news about this. First off, the implications may not be what you'd expect, but this could affect the future of Stone Ocean and also the future of the franchise as well. Alright, so as we all know, Batch 3 is coming soon, and the Bohemian Rhapsody arc will be adapted alongside it. Fair warning, there are going to be very minor spoilers for the anime watchers out there, because the following will be about material that hasn't been adapted yet. Before we begin, there's a couple things I should clarify about the Disney Plus acquisition. So far, only parts 1 to 3 are currently available on the platform. And even though it's on Disney Plus, you might not be able to find it. That's because it's only available in select regions on the Disney Plus Hotstar platform. To keep things simple, I'll refer to it as Hotstar from this point on. Hotstar is an offshoot of Disney Plus, catered to countries in Southeast Asia such as India, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. Although Hotstar is primarily a service for India, JoJo is not actually available on the Indian version of the platform, but it is available in all the other countries I mentioned. So what does this mean? Why is it a big deal? If you're a manga reader, you may already know the implication it has for the Bohemian Rhapsody arc. It is a major arc in the manga spanning 8 chapters leading up to the finale of the story. So as we all know, JoJo has a recurring theme of musical references. The arc itself is a reference to Queen obviously, but the characters in the arc are heavily inspired by films and fairy tales. The most important of the bunch, and the focus of this video, is Mickey Mouse and Spider-Man. They pose the biggest problem when it comes to copyright issues. In one of the issues of JoJo Veller, Araki revealed that he was told not to draw any copyrighted characters by his editor. That's why those 2 characters were partially drawn, with each showing a hand and a tail respectively. So, what can we expect? To avoid any copyright issues, the anime adaptations have been using localized names up until now. Some of them are good and funny, but some of them not as much. I'm looking at you, Limp Bizkit. With Disney picking up the franchise on its branch platform, this could lead to a snowball effect. So the good news here is that there's a possibility that we won't get wacky localized names for the arc. A good portion of the characters in the arc are part of the public domain, so we don't have to worry about those guys. And if Disney somehow acquires Stone Ocean, well, that's even less to worry about. The notion of a non-localized arc is no longer a pipe dream now that JoJo has landed on Hotstar. But it doesn't just stop at Bohemian Rhapsody. This could be huge for the future of the series as a whole. This acquisition means that Disney has expressed interest in having the series on its platform. JoJo is a huge franchise with an even bigger fanbase. Disney has been acquiring many other media companies like Marvel, Fox, Pixar, and Lucasfilms. Some consider them to becoming a monopoly at this point. Breaking into the anime scene just might be their next move. Who knows if after Stone Ocean, they might want to pick up the exclusive streaming rights for Steel Ball Run. They have already been tiptoeing around the idea of having more anime on its platform. The Star Wars Visions anime series was well received by fans of the franchise. And in more recent news, there are also rumors that hints at them acquiring the streaming license of the new Bleach arc. Following this trend, Disney is likely to pick up more titles in the future to bolster their platform. Let's rewind and talk about the Bohemian Rhapsody arc again. I've given everyone the good news, but now it's time to talk about the bad news. The bad news here is that we probably won't get the original names when Batch 3 drops in the winter season. If you didn't know about the release date, go check out my last video. Since Batch 3 will be arriving on Netflix first, those copyright issues still persist. That being said, Netflix isn't actually the big hurdle we have to get over. We still have to talk about the elephant in the room. Warner Bros. Is actually the ones behind the JoJo anime since 2012. More on this in a later video. So the more likely scenario for Batch 3 is that we'll see characters with localized names based on IPs from Warner Bros. We've actually already seen an example of this in Batch 1. In episode 6, Hermes mentions the birthday of Bugs Bunny, but in the manga, Hermes actually recalls the birthday of Mickey Mouse. In fact, to avoid any legal trouble, even the Japanese dub reflected the change. So we might get different characters animated in the arc. Instead of Spider-Man's hand, you might see someone else like Batman or Blue Beetle. It'd be funny if they somehow threw Big Chungus in there, but I don't know about that one. So honestly, even if it's localized, I think this would be one of the funnier cases and I wouldn't mind at all. Alright, let's rewind one last time. So the points I just made seemingly contradicts the good news that I had for you guys. Well, it's a little more nuanced than that. While Warner Brothers does own the rights to JoJo in Japan, Viz Media is the main distributor in the West. They have been the distributor for the Blu-rays since 2017. But different regions do different things with their products. Anything ranging from changing translations to different censorship. Considering the Western Blu-rays come out later than the Japanese release, who knows if Disney would want to get involved in that? And since we're on the topic of Blu-rays and censorship, it's not uncommon for scenes to be redrawn or redubbed. If Disney gets involved, who knows if we could get multiple versions of Stone Ocean? One with the Warner Brothers dub, and one reflecting the source material. The odds are slim, but if a tradition like JoJo Fridays can be broken, don't be surprised if other bizarre things can happen. And Disney is no stranger in spending the big bucks either. Considering they got the streaming license for Bleach, which also happens to be property of Viz Media. I know it's comparing apples to oranges, but my point is, the mouse is the one poaching right now. There's actually more to talk about with the Disney Plus and Bleach thing, but this isn't the video for that. So JoJo is only on Hotstar for the time being, but maybe in a few years, we might get Stone Ocean on the main Disney Plus service with non-localized names. And as of right now, we can only speculate what this means for the franchise itself. One thing we do know, more competition is always good for consumers, which means it's a positive outlook for the series as a whole. But we'll have to see when Steel Ball Run comes out in 2025. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Also, check out the Discord server. Sorry if I've sounded weird in the video, that's because I'm sick. Anyway, until next time, Wong Diggity out.